This is a homework problem out of Chapter 9, Section 2 on regression. The problem states, find the equation of the regression line for the given data. Then construct a scatter plot of the data and draw the regression line. The pair of variables have a significant correlation. Then use the regression equation to predict the value of y for each of the given x values, if meaningful. The table below shows the heights in feet and the number of stories of 6 notable buildings in a city. So the first thing we are asked to do is to find the regression equation. So if we can copy this table over into StatCrunch and go to Stat, Regression, Simple Linear. Independent x value is the height. The dependent y variable is stories. And we're going to hit compute. And let's see what we got. Here's the regression equation. I always like to glance at the scatter plot, and we can clearly see we do have positive linear correlation by looking at it just visually. So let's see what's going on here. This is the, right here is the regression equation. So y is equal to 14.87676 plus 0.0503 times x. So I'm just going to type that in. Let's see, it says 3 decimal places for the slope. So the slope is what goes with the y. So I'm being careful here to know that this is the value that goes with the x value. So that's going to be to 3 decimal places, 0.050. And then this value here is the one by itself, which goes here. So and it says it rounds it to 2 decimal places there, so 14.88. Okay. The next part of the question asks us to choose the correct graph, and we looked at it over here. So we know that it has to be A or B, this one or this one, because these are both positive, and it can't be either one of these. These are negative correlations, so it's one of these. They look about the same. This is going from 0 to 800, 0 to 800, 0 to 60, and 0 to 60, so they look about the same. It's just a matter of looking at the actual coordinates here, these dots, the XY coordinates. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit on this one. Actually, let's click that button there and take a look. So right here is the first 2 values. I'm seeing 2 values here and then 2. These are below the regression line. So let's look at what the other one looks like. So I'm going to X out of this one, and let's look at this B here. That is looking more like what StatCrunch did for us. There's the 2 values below the regression line, there's 2 above, and so everything seems to match up. So this must be the correct one. It's hard to tell sometimes because these are very small. So that's the correct scatter plot. The next part of the question is to predict the value of y for x equals 499. So the first thing that I need to do is to check and see if this x value is within the range of all the other x values, and it looks like it is. So this is going to be a meaningful prediction of the y value. So we're trying to plug in x, which is height. Using this height, we are trying to predict how many stories are going to be in the building. So this is simply plugging in 499 up here where x is, multiplying by 0.05, and then adding 14.8. So I'm going to drag my calculator over. Try again and see what we get. So I'm going to start with this x value here. So this is 499. We're going to multiply that by this 0.050. I'm going to hit enter and get a value. Now I'm going to add on 14.88, so plus 14.88, and that gives me 39.83. So choose the correct value. This appears to be the closest if we round up to the nearest whole number. The next part of the question says predict the value of predict the value of y for x equals 649. Again, I want to go back up and check the other x values that we have, and to make sure that this x is within the range of all these other values. And it is, so we can make a prediction about the number of stories based on a height of 649 feet. So let's go to the calculator. I'm going to start with the 649, multiply that by the 0.050. Start over again. I'm going to do the 649 times the 0.050, and then I'm going to add on the 14.88. It's just coming from the regression equation that we got from StatCrunch. And so this is 47, rounded to the nearest whole number. And it's asking us to do this again one more time. So it says predict the value of y. So predict the number of stories for a height of 310 feet. Now, this x, if I look up at all the other x's, this is much lower than the other x's. So we are going to say that it's not meaningful to do this. Let's look at the next one. It says predict the value of y for x equals 732. 732 is within the range of all the other x values, so it's okay to do this. We can predict the number of stories based on height. So 732 stories, I'm going to roll back up here to my regression equation. So 732 stories times 0.050, then plus the 14.88, and we get 51.48. So that would be closest to the 51. That's it.